Welcome to A Shot of Ag. I'm your host, Rob Sharkey. Do you own ground, or do you want to buy ground, or are you ever just curious what ground is worth? Well, then you need an appraiser. How does an appraiser know how much ground is worth? Well, we're going to find out today. Today we're talking with Dan Legner from Princeton. How you doing, Dan?
Good.
You are a senior certified appraiser. So you're like not just the slum appraiser, you're like the certified, but then you're the senior of the certified.
I'm one of the senior of the certifieds, right.
Okay. So do you mainly just do farm ground?
Predominantly. Probably 95% of what I do is strictly farmland.
Okay.
And I cover Bureau County, Putnam County, Lee County, and Whiteside County, and for Compeer Financial. And we have other appraisers throughout the north half of Illinois, and then Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Okay. So boy, you got to know your stuff, because the ground, an acre in Princeton, Illinois is definitely different than an acre in Minnesota.
Right, right. And that's why most of us cover about 3 or 4 counties in Illinois. They cover more in Wisconsin and Minnesota, but we're fairly localized, and so specialized in the farmland in those counties that we cover.
You grew up in Princeton?
Southeast of Princeton, about 5 miles.
Southeast.
And Route
Okay.
26, right before Interstate 180.
Okay. Farm kid?
Farm kid, right.
What were you raising?
Well, in 4-H, I had Ayrshire dairy cattle.
Okay.
Yeah, and my dad, small farmer, 300 acres, corn and beans, and
Did just the one milk cow?
only one I'd milk at a time. We had probably 6 of them, but one would calve at a time, and
You didn't have to wake up like at 4 in the morning, did you?
No, a little bit
Yeah.
later, but I milked morning and night.
What'd you do with the milk?
Well, we drank it and we gave some away.
Oh, you
So,
raw
yeah,
milk? You were
Raw
breaking the
milk,
law?
pasteurized it.
You did?
Yes, had a little pasteurizer. My mom would pour it in that, and
Really?
yeah.
Did it take very long?
I don't remember what it would take. Maybe an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get it up like just not at boiling, just
It was preset, I believe, and
you just let it go.
just let it
Then
go.
you have
And
pasteurized milk.
pasteurized milk.
Okay.
Right.
It's the rage. You could have been before your time having the raw milk. You could have been like the rebel.
Yeah, yeah. Head of the game, huh?
So you grew up there. I mean, did you ever want to go back to the farm?
Well, I hobby farm it now, but after high school, I went to IVCC, and then I went on to Illinois, and
U of I or ISU?
U of I.
Okay.
And
Generally, people work that into the conversation within 30 seconds.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Sounds like you're secure in your masculinity. I went
Is
to
that-
U of I, not a big deal.
yeah.
What'd you study there?
Ag Econ, and so graduated in '87, I guess, and then through 4-H, I went to Ireland as a International 4-H Youth Exchange
Oh,
for
cool.
6 months. After
Oh, heck, you lived over there.
lived over there, lived with a dairy family outside of Cork, and
Could you understand them?
yes, yeah,
You could?
right,
A
a little bit of a twang, but
If you get on TV, I have a hard time listening, figuring out what they're saying.
oh, well, you got to focus there,
That's my
at
problem.
first. But
Yeah.
yeah, well.
So what'd you learn there?
Well, they milked about 72 head of Holsteins. They were on the quota system. And my host brother, I went back here, well, I've been back several times, but went back last year, and they're building a new large facility, going to be milking 300, and his son's coming back into the operation. He's kind of transitioning out, Richard. But it was amazing how, and it's similar to any other business, you either got to grow or get out.
Yeah.
And you know, he's taken the growth route, just because his son's coming back. But you know, the same thing is here, a large investment. They're spending £1 million to put in this new circular milking parlor.
Oh, the carousel.
The carousel.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, and but anyway, that was a real enjoyable experience. And then when I came back, then I went to work for a bank over in Peru, Illinois, and did that for 1.5 years. And my roommate that I had in college, he was going on to graduate school, and he said, "Well, why don't you come back to graduate school? We'll go down to Oklahoma State."
Oklahoma State?
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Why there?
Well, I don't know. So I said, well, go down and check it out. So he went down there and he called me and he says, "We're not going here." I said, "No, okay." He said, "No, I sat out here outside either the dean's office," and he said he never came out, and so he said, we're going back to Illinois. So I went back for my master's, and he was getting his PhD.
Do you think that was true?
I do.
Or is like
I
your
do.
roommate
No.
went there and he hit on a girl and she laughed at him? He's like, "Heck with this place. We're going back to Illinois."
No, he was, and so anyway, I finally I was home for the summer between my first and second year, getting the master's degree, and a local bank, First State Bank in Princeton at the time, they had bought another bank, and one of their loan officers was going to go be the president of that one, and they needed a loan officer, and asked me what I was doing. I said, "Well, here's what I'm doing, you know, what I told you." And so, you know, they said, "Well, why don't you come talk to us?" So I did. So they hired me, and I was with them about 5 years, and at the time, I was taking an appraisal class, and so I continued to take that.
You were a loan officer, though.
Yeah, I was a loan officer.
You were crushing people's dreams by denying them money.
Well,
Yeah.
some could say that,
Yeah.
I guess. We're giving others opportunities, you know. When you're young, you're full of ambition and goals, right? And, so I continued to take that appraisal class and then kind of put it on hold because I was, you know, working at the bank. And after about 5 years, I left and went and worked for a local realtor and got my real estate license, and started taking the appraisal classes again. And after 1.5 years of that, I opened up my own shop, and so I had that.
Was that
for
a little
5 years.
scary? Because I mean, you had been working for people the whole, and now you're going to be your own shingle. It's ride or die is only with you.
Yeah. Well, two things. You know, as I said, when you're young,
You don't care.
well, you know, risk is a word that probably you think relates to other people, maybe not yourself. And then at the time, my wife was working, and bless her heart, she, you know, provided the insurance, and so there was the stability there where I could take a chance.
Yeah.
And so that was probably one of the motivating factors to try it. And one day then I was in my office, and one of the loan officers from, at the time we were First Farm Credit, he stopped in and he said, we're looking to hire an appraiser. Would you be interested? And so I talked to them, and they gave me a few months to close my operation down.
Oh, so you were all in.
So I went to work for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was back in 2003, so it's been, what, 22
It'll be
years?
22 years, yeah.
Yeah, it was 22 years,
Seemed
March
like
1st.
just yesterday, huh?
Just yesterday, yeah. Yeah.
Where'd you meet your wife?
Where'd I meet my wife? Well, you probably won't believe this, Rob.
Are you gonna lie?
No,
Oh.
not to you. I met her. Well, you grew up outside of Princeton, and you know Princeton's not the booming metropolis for single women, or even single guys from the women's standpoint. But
I have no comment on that, Dan.
okay, well, it was January, the first of the year, and our church was starting a Bible study, and and it was, say, Monday night, and 6 o'clock, and Monday night came, and 6:15 it dawned on me that the Bible study was at 6, and I debated whether I should go or not.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, whatever. So I went, and here was this black-haired young lady sitting in the class. And
You didn't know her?
I did not know her. I knew of her because we went to high school together, but she was 2 years older than I am. So we weren't in the same class together, but I knew of her.
Like the older women?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Right. More experienced.
Was it love at first sight?
It was, for me,
She took a little work.
She did.
Yeah.
She had a boyfriend. Can you believe it?
Did you go throw down with him?
No, we arm wrestled.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You're a dairy kid, so
Right. No. And it was, we met in January and we got married in October.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. How many years now?
You would ask me. No.
It's not a trick question,
No,
man.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll wait.
1994, so what's
I
that,
didn't ask
31?
what year it was. Well,
October the 8th.
Okay. All right.
It was
so
a
around
rainy
31.
Saturday.
That's a bad omen. It probably won't last.
Well,
Okay. So now you're working for Compeer.
working for Compeer.
Now is that afford you some benefits to being, because I imagine if you're an appraiser, it seems to me like you have to have just information coming in from all different sources, right, to figure out what ground is going to go for. Did working for Compeer, did that give you some more sources of information?
Yes, and it gave me an assistant to do a lot of the, if you want to say,
Grunt work. Yeah.
clerical type work, writing up the sales. Yeah,
Stuff
because
you didn't want to do.
well, stuff that takes a lot of time, because but values are come about from prior sales of similar properties, and so we get transfer declarations, or they were called green sheets because they are green, of all the sales of 20 acres or more, say from the courthouse. And then we also have loan officers who, if you went out and bought a farm, you come in and see the loan officer for a loan. We do the appraisal on that. We get the loan contract or purchase contract, and so we get sales that way, where, as an independent, you wouldn't have access to that. And then we go to the auctions, or either somebody from the office typically goes to a public auction. We get information that way. And so that's predominantly how we collect information, and then work up those sales, have a computer database that, say, keeps all the Bureau County sales, and they're broken out by soil productivity index, which is the main driver of land values. And that's, in a nutshell, that's the process.
Does it drive you nuts when somebody says, well, what's farm ground going for?
No, not really, because, that's the business I'm in. And so.
Do you just give them a range? Because you can't.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Normally we give a range, if it's Class A ground, here's the range.
So what is farm ground going for?
Well, in Bureau County, prime Class A farm ground, anywhere 15 to 18,000, depending on location, neighbors who want it, a few other factors.
Yeah. We had you come out and appraise some stuff on our farm. You're not very good at your job. You're way too low.
Well,
Way too low.
Right.
Like half.
all depends if you're the buyer or the seller.
That's
Usually I'm too low if they want to sell, or I'm too high if they want to buy it.
That's an extremely good point. What's this thing?
That is a replica of a Minneapolis Moline Model U tractor.
Okay, you had me at Minneapolis Moline. You lost me at Model U.
Yeah.
What, was there many of those made?
Well, I don't know the exact production, but when my dad moved up to Bureau County, 1960, he had a narrow front end. This is a wide front end. Had a narrow front end U, and that's what he farmed with. And my brother and I, we still have it, and so
Still run?
it probably will. It's been parked in the shed, but it was an LP. This is a gas one. But anyway, my dad collected tractors, and he had a U and a UB and a Z, and then the G1000 was the latest one that we had. So anyway, partial to the Prairie Gold.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Your parents were 4-H leaders, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They were.
They had some bratty young girl in their club. My wife.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was going to say, nice young lady. The guy she's married to, I have my doubts, but
He's throwing down.
yeah, and I couldn't find it. I had it at the office. My mom passed away, I guess 2021, and so going through all her stuff, I came across, she had a little picture of Emily when she was about probably 9 years old. And
Oh,
I was going
really?
to try and find it to bring it, but I couldn't. But yes, Emily and her sister were in Elm Tree 4-H Club. My mom and dad were leaders.
Gotcha. Well, and obviously 4-H was important to your family. You went to Ireland with them.
Yes, yeah.
You ever go back to the 4-H fair in Bureau County, Princeton?
I haven't been there in a few years.
I wouldn't go.
No,
No, it's not what it used to be.
no. Well, I still sponsor Photography 3, I think, trophy.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, which I have for probably, I don't know,
Do you judge
40
it?
years. No.
Okay.
No.
Photography 3. So if you
Yeah,
won a ribbon
little-
or a plaque, I guess, I don't know what they give
Little
anymore.
plaque or little trophy from like A&M Products. That's who. Yeah. Well, it's probably like everything. Everything's changing. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. The former president of the Illinois Society of Professional Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers. So you must be good at your job, or at least have the respect of your peers, huh?
Well, I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a state association for farm managers and rural appraisers. And yeah, I was the president, I think 2018 maybe.
Okay. You still do any hunting?
Not too much. My dad never hunted. Quick story. My dad never hunted. I had a good friend, Laverne Crothers from Seatonville, Illinois. When I was maybe in 8th grade, I got a shotgun for Christmas. Laverne would call, 2 nights before deer hunting and say, I'll be down at 6 o'clock. And, like a little boy before Christmas, you didn't hardly sleep the night before. And he'd have sandwiches and soda pop. And
Oh, wow.
He'd pick me up at 6. We'd go out, sit in the timber, and about 9 o'clock, we'd go back to his truck. And he passed away. Oh, it's probably been 10 years ago. My oldest son, he bow hunts, and he did quite a bit when he was young. And we go out a few times, but nobody eats deer meat other than me. And how much deer meat can a guy eat? And so
Well,
I don't
you
do
only
as
get one
much.
a year, basically.
Yeah, still a lot of deer meat, Rob. So do a little bit of hunting, but not like I used to.
Yeah. You used to do the duck hunting too, didn't you?
Well, Ian, again, my son, he and my my nephew Hayden, they go duck hunting. We got a small pond. They go duck hunting, but I'm not a duck hunter.
Oh,
No.
that's nice. You don't have to go down the river and get the
No.
boat out and all that stuff.
Right.
Well, if somebody is wanting to buy ground, right? And they want, it's like they kind of want the blue book, right? They want to know they're not being taken. Do they call a person like you to give an appraisal? Can you do kind of a version without actually going out to the farm?
Yes. Yeah, we have an automated product that it will, we put in the soil productivity index, percent tillable, location, and it'll search our database and come up with 5 sales. We review those sales, make sure that they're, legitimate, and it'll give a value, and we can provide that to a prospective buyer, if they want to. Or a lot of times, if a party's buying it privately from a neighbor and they want an outside opinion, we can do that for them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why is ground holding its value?
My opinion, it's been, other than in the 80s, I guess, but it's been a safe investment. And I think a lot of people are nervous, as today is shown, the stock market. It provides an income stream, and just over time, if you look at what land sold for 50 years ago and where it's at now, it's safe investment. So I think it's viewed as also people are diversifying their portfolios. Maybe they've got 401k, they've got money in the stock market through those investments, and they just want something else. So that's I think the main driver.
Okay. So when I go into Compeer and I go to buy this farm, I will simply say, well, talk to Dan. He says it's a safe investment, so give me the money.
Well, now you, Rob, they'll give you the money probably. But if I were to go in, they'd say, well, what do you have for collateral? And it doesn't pencil out unless you have at least probably over half. So they would ask me, how am I going to pay? Well, let's use some numbers. I want to buy an 80 acres, and let's just say I get it for 15. Well, $1.2 million. So one, I got to have 600 grand just to be in the game, right? And then they're going to ask me, how am I going to pay the other 600 back, and 7% interest, 42,000. I'm going to finance that over 20 years. Well, I got to come up with 30,000 just for the principal and 42 for the interest, so 70,000. And I'm going to rent it to you, and you're probably going to give me what, 500 an acre cash rent?
Not me.
No,
but somebody. You can get it.
You think I could get 500?
Sure.
Okay. Well, let's just say I could get 400. And on that 80 acres, I'm getting what, 32,000?
Yeah.
And I got to come up with 72,000.
Well, that's your problem. But ground,
I'm going to have a side gig.
It always goes up, so it's a no-brainer, really.
If I live long enough, right? So that's the problem, and the disparity, between, let's just say the 60s when my dad started farming. You could go and buy a farm, and there's getting to be a lot more competition.
Yeah.
And so back in the day when the farm would sell, it'd typically be the auctioneer go out to the 80, and he'd have the neighboring farmers.
Yeah, the good old days.
You didn't have the, I call them the real estate investment trusts, and the internet opened up, just became more, people became more aware of farm ground, and so it's getting out of reach for a lot of people. Yeah.
Do you think it's always been that way?
I don't think so, because I as I'm going out to do appraisals for estates, and the one in particular sticks out in my mind.
Yes.
The gal was no. This was for an estate. We do a lot of appraisal work if somebody was to pass away, and then they get the stepped up basis. But I asked the lady, she was my age, how'd your dad get this ground? She said, well, he started farming, bought, and then just kept buying again.
Yeah.
And I don't see too many people my age that have started on their own without having family backing and have been able to keep buying.
They got some heck of a side gig. But Dan,
Yeah.
I could talk about land prices all day, but we do have to go. I want to thank you for being
Sure.
on. That you've been, for people that don't know, you've been an incredible pillar in agriculture up in Bureau County. So I want to thank you for that too. So Dan Legner from Princeton, Illinois, thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Rob.
Everybody else,
Enjoyed it.
We'll catch you next week. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to explore more of our local content. You can connect with us on our social media platforms, visit our website, or download and watch the free PBS app. We can't wait to see you next time on A Shot of Ag.